show that tackles the big issues affecting the BVI and the rest of the Caribbean. Searches for answers to today's big questions and gives viewers a unique perspective on developing stories. Follow the big story with me, Kathy Richards, only on GTV. This show is brought to you by the National Bank of the Virgin Islands, Cyril B. Ramney Tertola Pier Park, HOV Medical, and Digicel. Sign up for Digicel Plus Home Light bundles, faster internet, movies, and sports. This is the big story. I'm Kathy Richards. I want to thank you so much for joining us for this edition. Today we want to zero in on that big event that happens here annually, and it's all done by Steve Parlon and his team. It's King of the Courts time. Steve, I want to welcome you to the set. You put on a bright smile now.
You know I smile? Because I want to really ask y'all tired of seeing me?
Don't ever be tired of seeing you whenever it goes.
I'm the smile. If I'm tired of seeing me, let me know, because I would disappear.
No, you don't need to disappear.
And give somebody else an opportunity, because I start to feel like the feel is Steve, and you know, I mean, like, God give me a gift. You understand? If I don't want to utilize it, I could sail off into the side and sell fish on the side of the road, and and be okay.
God give you a gift, and it's for you to carry out your gift.
Well,
the onus is not on me or anybody else to decide that you should not fulfill your gift. So if you feel any pressure, they say if you're doing something good, you must feel some pressure.
Yeah.
And if you're feeling no pressure, maybe you got to revisit it. So you're feeling some pressure. All right. But despite the pressures, and you keep doing it every time, is you're doing what you love doing, and something that is growing is the King of the Courts, and it's on this year. Right.
Well, listen, King of the Courts holds a special place in my heart, and reason being, King of the Courts, it started up during COVID, as you know, and we did the impossible. We had a gathering event. Somehow I don't remember how we kind of get it done, but it was done in the gym, and it started out as a 3-point shootout where we was going to the different districts, crowning a winner, and then we had the big finale in the gym, and all the ministers were shooting, and it was, I think that was one of the first gathering we had in the COVID era where people felt like it was a little bit of normal life again. And then the second year, we brought the different shooters from the different countries, and it was big, and we had that in Virgin Gorda. It was a great turn. It was a great event. And then teams started contacting me and saying, hey, is there a team version to the shooting version? And I was like, you know what? Maybe we could just make it a 2-in-1 thing. So 2 years ago, we started the Caribbean Championship, where we still had the shooting somewhat involved in it. And then it started growing last year. It was great. We had several countries came in. We had a cash prize. We had the Premier Cup. So, I went to the Premier and I sold it to him last year. I said, listen, if you guys know, there's a Premier Cup for horse race, Boxing Day, and festival races for about 20,000. So I said to him, hey, we don't have horse race anymore right now. So maybe we can do the Premier Cup for the basketball tournament, which I think was well fitting. And you have all these countries spending their money, coming here to fight for the Premier Cup. And obviously we have all local teams, trying to
keep it here.
Yeah. And so we spoke after the tournament last year, and it was a great success. And we say, listen, we need a bigger cash prize so we could get some bigger countries in here. And now we have countries like Trinidad, and Haiti, adding to, countries like Bahamas and Santo Domingo and USVI, who's a two-time defending champions, coming. And I mean, we're set. I could tell you right now, we have at least 25 professional players in this year's tournament versus last year, where I think we had maybe about 8. And now this year, we have maybe 25 to 30, could be more, because from what I'm hearing in some of these teams, I don't know exactly, but I know from what I'm hearing, I think Haiti itself, the team itself is a whole professional team. It's going to be a lot of excitement.
And I think BVI going to bring their
we have four professional players as well representing for Tatola. I know Virgin Garda has about 4 professional players as well too. So the Tatola and the Virgin Garda team, they're going to be really stacked this year. So we have 2 teams to back to try to get one.
I guess personally, I wonder if the Moyage coming back.
Well, I'm not sure if Demoy is going to come this year because he's currently in Europe. And so right now, a lot of teams are finishing in Europe right now, but all our guys from BVI who are in Europe, apparently they stay playing, which is a good thing because their team are somewhat, in good standing. So right now it's like the playoffs, so it's hard to get those guys. So with the tournament, we incorporated a new rule where each team can have 4 import players, similar to how the professional leagues are run in Europe and South America, where you have the home team, but they can bring in players, just like how I was brought in to places like Glasgow Rocks, and I was like an import player for them. I had to embrace them as my team. So where the tournament is the same, where some of the islands, not all, because some islands have such a wide talent base. They don't need to import talent. You understand? Like Dominican Republic, they can just close their eyes and they have a lot of talent. So some countries don't need to utilize it. Some countries do because they're smaller and they don't have the talent base to compete, in the competition. So I think it's going to bring a lot of hype. There's going to be a lot of great high-level games, and that's very important when you're spending your money and you can see high-level competition.
But it also speaks to our readiness as a territory to go after that big cash prize and to be also going up against these professionals that are going to be coming from around the world.
Right. Well, for those who follow basketball and who love basketball, they would know that basketball has really been kind of down here in the BVI. We haven't had a basketball league in Tatola in over 2 years. And basketball has actually been down in the Caribbean because normally we would have the CBC, the Caribbean Basketball Confederation tournament, like every year. And that having been had in a while, so right now a lot of these islands in the Caribbean, they're hungry for competition. So it's now on us as a Caribbean nation now to have these tournaments. And I'm not the only one that hosts a tournament similar. There's one in St. Martin that's called Battle of the Fittest, but they're not having it this year because the gym is in renovation. And then there's another Creole one that's going to be in June in between Martinique, Dominique, and Saint Lucia, I think it is. So there are countries who are trying to keep basketball alive, and we're part of that, because the love for basketball is a BVI thing. We love basketball. I know it's not our national sport, but we love basketball, and so we're trying our best to make sure King of the Court stays as one of the high-level tournaments in the Caribbean.
So you're keeping the sports tourism aspect of things going, because if we're having these many teams coming in, it's obvious they're coming with some supporters, they're coming with aid and all of that, so it's adding to the tourism pact of the BVI.
Yes, many of these teams are coming with fans. I see the numbers and I see that they're more than what a team normally have, and there's some are coming with their wives, they're coming with friends, they have people coming to see them play. And like I said, it's great competition setting for us, and I just think that it's going to be a lot of excitement. Something that, we need the excitement in the place. Tatola has become somewhat of a very dead place. I don't know what's happening, but, you go out on a weekend, the place just looks there, they almost feel like you're on Just Van Dyke in Tatola. You understand?
Just sit and have dinner.
It's just, yeah, the place
yeah.
just, you know, it never used to be that way. I don't know if the culture is changing.
A shift is happening because we just had this conversation just recently among myself and some friends. You know, we are a group of ladies who usually would have gone out and have a good time, even if it's a Friday evening, a Saturday. But last weekend we went to an event which finished by 11 o'clock.
And there was nowhere to go.
And there was nowhere. We sat there with the organizer and we're like, what's happening? There is nothing for like-minded people to just
Right. It's like, yeah, I mean, think about it. You're sitting on the couch at 7 o'clock on a Saturday night. You look at your woman, you want to see her looking sexy. You say, hey, babes, let's go out.
Yeah.
You go somewhere and lounge, maybe get something to eat, Coconut Lounge. There's places like that. You go to 7, you go somewhere you eat. When that's finished, where do you go? You understand? Where do you go from there? Because even the strip clubs now are even dead right now. They're not even like how they used to be. So that was like a substitute for clubbing, you understand? And now where do you go? Where do you say you take your woman to go hear some nice music and dance and have a good time? Where do you go?
Yeah.
Unless someone is holding a particular event.
Yeah.
You understand?
Well, it's a conversation that, you know, probably needs to continue and some research needs to be done. But we're not going to be taken away from King of the Courts here in this conversation.
Yes,
it went there.
That's for another time.
Yeah. So
that's
tell us about the structure of, you talk about the new addition of being able to import players, but what's the other structure aspect of this year's competition?
Right. So what we try to do with King of the Court, we try to make it entertaining. Okay. So there are a few changes this year. So when you come to the multipurpose complex, expect not to feel like you're in the multipurpose complex. So we now have a sports bar. So when you enter into the gym now, there's going to be a sports bar with TV. So for all the NBA lovers, you don't have to feel like you're going to miss the game. There'll be TVs with the games. There'll be waitress service, table. We actually going to have a restaurant based in the gym from Wednesday all the way to Sunday. You could come in from lunchtime, have lunch. There are going to be some day games on Thursdays and Friday. You could come in, watch some games. It's free of cost in the day. And we're going to have nice food in there. The sports bar going to have food. Also, what we did last year, we're bringing back the courtside seating where, you know, and most of that is already sold out. So we have the couch seating, the table seating right on the floor where you get waitress service. And then also we have a food court in the gym where you can just be on the upstairs, sitting down and eating and watching the game. And like I said, we'll have a lot of food and stuff in there. So we're just giving it a different element where you could come in, feel, you know, at home, have, you know, all the different amenities that you know, can make you feel comfortable.
You know, I gotta ask you where these inspirations come from. Despite the fact that, you know, sometimes you say you feel so pressured to give up, but yet you keep making these events more elaborate, if that's the correct word.
Well, you know, I thank God for the opportunity to travel the world. I thank basketball very dearly for giving me the opportunity to travel the world, because if it wasn't for basketball, I would not be who I am right now, because basketball took me off the little streets of Lower Estate and took me all over the world. So it opened up my eyes to a lot of things. And so my mind is very innovative. I see things in a different light, and I don't like to do things normal. You know, anybody know me? Yes, I do try to go a little above, but sometimes when I think of things, I try to execute them. You understand? Sometimes it's very difficult to execute things here because we don't have a lot of the materials. Like sometimes when I go to different Caribbean islands, as a promoter, I see the way they have things done, but it's so accessible in their countries versus here where we don't have it. So if you want to do it here, it's either going to cost an arm and a leg or import, or it's going to be very difficult to do. So it's like you feel like, okay, you want people to see something different. You understand? But how do you execute it? And, you know, overseas, you will go to a professional game and you will see the persons who have the VIP floor sittings. You'll see waitress service with them. You'll be in an arena and you'll be able to eat and still watch the game. You know, you'll have TVs in the arena. So I know we're not set up like that, but I want to give people that, you know, that experience, you know, where you could come in, feel good. And then obviously another change that we have this year is we actually have a whole stage set up in the gym. So they're going to be a stage set up, and we have something called Rock the Stage halftime show. So every night we're giving anyone, and it's still open. I don't care who you are. You could be a trumpet player, you could be a singer. I don't care what you are. If you're interested in performing at the Rock the Stage halftime show, we have a legit stage right on the court that you'll be able to perform and get your content out there. So if you're out there and you want to perform, right now we have dancers from St. Thomas, we have dancers from Tatola, we have 3G, who just confirmed yesterday that they'll be performing. They'll be performing Friday night. That's going to be the halftime of the Tatola versus Santo Domingo game, which is going to be a very big game.
Oh, wow.
Next week, Friday night. So they're performing. We have other persons that are confirming. So we're trying to put on a show, you know, how you go to an NBA game and they have all these different persons performing. And it doesn't matter who you are. You could be the biggest artist here. You could be Jugu. You could be Boss. If you want, come take the mic and sing 2 songs, you know, we don't mind. You understand? Come rock the stage.
Nice,
you understand?
nice. Quickly run us down how each night goes, if you
Right.
have fixture yet.
Right, yes. So there's a full schedule out. You can go to the King of the Courts Facebook page, and the schedule is out. So Wednesday night is the open ceremony at 6 p.m., followed by 4 exciting games. And then Thursday morning, we have 2 games starting from around 9 a.m. And then Thursday night, we have another 4 exciting games. And I think the headline, every night we have a headline game. So Wednesday opening night, the headline game is Tatola versus Trinidad.
Okay.
And then on Thursday night, the headline game is going to be Virgin Gorda versus USVI. So that's going to be the headline game on Thursday night. And then Friday night, which is the last night of the preliminary run, is Tatola versus Santo Domingo, which is also a big thing, you know. And then Saturday, it starts the playoffs, which is the semifinals. And so Saturday night, we have the 2 semifinal games, which will be 1 from Group A versus 2 from Group B, and 1 from Group B versus 2 from Group A. And then followed by that, we have a big after party in the gym, because like I said, we're going to have a stage already set up there. So on Saturday night, we don't have an after party. We have 3 artists from Dominica. We have Rio, OK Boom, Rio, who is hot right now, who's coming for the first time here. We have DJ Taffy, who is coming also for the first time. We have Pudas, who was here for White and White last year, which remember Pudas, he's coming as well. And then we have Shah HP, the band from USVI, and we also have Peanut, the real nut, also coming. So we have a nice lineup for you, you know, so you can come out, enjoy basketball, and then you can party after. It's not expensive. $40 get you into basketball and the event for the whole entire night. Or if you want to come basketball, you will just pay the basketball fee. Or if you want to just come to the event, you can just pay the event fee. So you have options.
Okay, and finals?
The finals is Sunday night. So on Sunday night, we're supposed to have the 3rd place game. I think we're working with something with the SBA, with Boss, to do a showcase game in between, and then we have the championship game for all the marbles.
We do the shootout this time?
I'm not sure if we're doing the shootout yet, because the racks were damaged, and so I don't have any racks right now. So I'm not sure if
That extensively they were damaged?
Yeah, because remember, those racks were built from COVID, handmade by myself and some PVC pipes, and they kind of had their way. So I'm not sure yet. Maybe we might do some shooting competitions in between. And so anyone who wants to sponsor the event, we're still open. We're still begging. This event, you know, it takes a lot. Where we're also assisting the team from here you know, because obviously right now we don't have a basketball federation, so obviously we need a host team, and we're assisting them with players coming in, players staying. If you want to sponsor a room for a player or something, you know, we're open. We'll totally acknowledge you. We have a big screen that we're going to have up in the gym that you can have your sponsor name going across that screen during the night, and you know, you can, you know, help us to make this tournament a great success.
Okay, and prizes?
The prizes?
Prizes, yes. What's up for grabs?
Oh, so up for grabs is the Premier Cup. Like I said before, the Premier Cup, 15,000 cash prize. And for the last 2 years, the cash prize has been sailing over on a Native Son ferry to the U.S. Virgin Islands. And so they're coming back. I could tell you from now, for those of you who've been coming to the tournament, they have a deeper team this year.
Oh, wow.
So
and last year, the last one was tight, though.
Last year, they had a really good team. They have a deeper team this year. I would say, based on all the rosters that are coming in, I see like the tournament is going to be very competitive this year. I am talking about high-level basketball is going to be playing in there. You're going to really see some really stiff competition. A lot of big guys, 6'10", 6'9". You know, going to be some real high-level competition. If you really love basketball, you know, this is the tournament to come to.
Oh, wow. Wow, I didn't expect all of this. I mean, I know a little bit of the ins and outs and what we would have had before, but great ideas. I really love it, and you know, I always want to continue to encourage you to do what you're doing. You know, you know, those who know love it.
Yeah.
Those who love.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something. The restaurant that is gonna be in the gym, it's a Guyanese chef.
Okay.
So you're gonna have some little. So you're gonna have some.
Okay.
You're gonna have a little bit of Guyanese cuisine.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we know how to flavor to
of course.
To cater for
of
all nations.
Of course. You know, we have the regular. You know, but we're gonna have some specials. You know, every night. You know, so if you want. You know, if you're home and you can't cook, don't worry. Come to basketball. You understand? You can come upstairs, sit down, you know, and have something to eat and still watch the game. Nice. And then you could go back down to your seat, whatever you want to do. We're going to have something for everyone. Obviously, the normal vendors are going to be in there, Chappie and those guys with the popcorn and the hot dogs, you know. It's a family event, you know, and so you can bring out the whole family.
Nice, nice. So remind us of dates as we close.
Right. So King of the Courts, it starts on Wednesday, the 14th of May, until the 18th, which is a Sunday. It's 5 nights of exciting basketball. We have 9 countries coming to compete. We have 2 groups. Group A consists of Tatola, Haiti, Santo Domingo, Trinidad, and Statia. And then Group B, we have 4 teams, which is Virgin Gorda, U.S. Virgin Islands, Bahamas, and St. Kitts. Right? So, you know, we have a lot of those.
A lot of new ones too.
Yes, and and all those countries have native persons here.
Yeah.
So come out and support. You know, I could tell you right now, even for next year, we already have commitment from Dominica, and we have interest from some other countries as well in the Caribbean, Martinique, Guadeloupe. So we have next year can probably turn out to be one of the biggest tournaments in the entire Caribbean.
Wow, one thing quickly we didn't touch on, your pool of officials.
Right, so we have our officials are going to be consist of local and overseas officials.
Okay.
So, yeah, we're going to be legit, man. All officials going to have on King of the Courts shirts. All our waitress and bartenders, look out for them. They're going to be having on their basketball referee uniforms and their jerseys, and everything going to look legit, man. Just come, trust me. And, you know, there's new LED lights in the gym for those of you haven't been in there yet. Last year, I know some people complain about how dull the atmosphere was, whatever. But now we have the brand new LED lights in the gym. It's going to be a nice setup, man.
Cool too.
Well cool.
With a crowd, it's still
fully stacked bars, food, you know. We you know, we're going to have everything, man. We're going to have personnel in the bathrooms, keeping the bathrooms clean throughout the night, you know, and just giving everybody a great environment. You know, the key is always is to improve. No one is perfect, but the key is to always try to improve, take constructive criticism, and try to improve and give persons their money worth.
All right, Steve. Wow. I'm impressed, and I'm sure that you are too. Thank you so much for stopping by and sharing. We look forward to next week. We talk a little bit about not having things to do on the weekend. You've created an environment, at least for this weekend, coming for next weekend. So we're looking forward for it, and we wish you every success in this endeavor. So you have it also. The information you need to know what you need to do for next weekend to be entertained and to support a great initiative here, even while Steve and his team continue to push sports tourism here in the Virgin Islands. I thank you so much for the pleasure of your time with us here on this edition of The Big Story. I'm Kathy Richards.
Large and small corporations in the BVI can't be wrong. BVI HR, a BVI-based integrated solution of employee timesheets, leave tracking, scheduling, employment letters, HR processes, pay slips, and tax reports, including NHI, Social Security, and Inland Revenue, will make your management of employees easier. While BVI HR can cater to the needs of larger enterprises, it also works exceptionally well for small companies. To sign up, visit bovihr.com, that is BOVIHR.com, or call us at 342-9686.